He's in the slipstream. What's going on? He goes 3 wide going up to Fluke Platz. 2 wheels on the grass as well. Oh my god. Okay. So this makes me wonder, I mean, does this count as ballast? Because David has got to get his massive steel balls into that car, and surely that's at least like a 50 kilo ballast penalty there. Hey there, long time no see. I was trawling through YouTube the other day and I came upon a video by one little-known Nurburgring-based YouTuber called Misha Sharudin. In this video, he was part of a taxi lap along with Joe Achilles, whom you might call a BMW-centric car reviewer figure. Now, this taxi lap was driven by this man, one David Pittard. If you don't know who David Pittard is, he's one of the most insane GT drivers on planet Earth. As you might imagine, this resulted in one of the funniest Nurburgring Nordschleife laps I've ever seen in my life. I would strongly recommend that you watch it. I'm going to have the link down below. Now, as well as this, it got me thinking, why don't I go and check out one of David Pittard's claims to fame? A little-known infamous video here on YouTube called, I believe, 54 overtakes on busy Nurburgring Nordschleife in David's BMW M6 GT3. Now, if that's every bit as insane as it sounds, I want to see it. I want to share that experience with you guys. Before we go on and do that, make sure to hit the sub to stay up to date with future automotive content, and let's get to it. It appears we're beginning on the final straight on the GP strekker here, so David is just blasting along. This is the start of the lap. We're not going to count the guy he's just overtaken coming out of the pits there. That'd be too easy. So we've got 1 overtake, 2 overtakes coming up on the first hairpin. So this must be the VLN layout. I'm guessing it's a VLN race because they're not doing the N24 layout here. It's got a Cayman there. 3. Good start so far. Overtake number 4, and he's trailing behind an R35 by the looks of it. I don't recall those racing for quite a while, so this must be a few years ago now. I've got a Ginetta G55, I think, there, and okay, 2 more overtakes. I think he's going to use the traffic to block off the R35 on the inside. Yes, so he takes one. It's the same class as his car. I think that's the first GT3 he's taken. 2 more here. 9 total overtakes. All right, so far so good. He's about halfway through the GP circuit. Coast here, coming up to a few lower class cars. You can see the rate of closure is absolutely ballistic. 11. And this is really where you can make it count. The GT3 is a lot more powerful than these lower class cars. Now, I think that's 13. Braking hard at the 50, coming up to the, not the Schumacher S, what is this? Just the painful chicane, is what I call it. Is that a GT3R? I think that could be another GT3. I don't think that was a cup car. So that's, I think, 16 overtakes before he even got onto the Nordschleife. Here we go. The Sabine Schmitz curve. Oh, that's rough. You can see David shaking his head there. He wasn't thrilled about what that car did. You want to stick to your line when you're being overtaken by a faster car. You don't want to do what that guy did and like kind of half commit and then go back off. So that kind of threw David off. If you're a driver of this caliber, you tend to prefer that the slower class cars act predictably around you, even if that does mean you have to take the slower line. So he's closing rapidly on the, I think that's a GT3R there. I don't think that's a cup car. So that is another of the same class of car that David is in here. Quite remarkable. You can see there's no rate of closure there. He's in the slipstream. What's going on? He goes 3 wide going up to Fluke Platz. 2 wheels on the grass as well. Oh my god. Okay. So this makes me wonder, I mean, does this count as ballast? Because David has got to get his massive steel balls into that car, and surely that's at least like a 50 kilo ballast penalty there as he overtakes. Maybe that's a cup car? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's like the AI is set, like, maybe at 50%, and this guy needs him up at 120%. Braking hard for Arenberg here. Overtakes on the outside. I'm guessing he's going to blitz it all the way down to the foxhole. Man, okay. This is definitely living up to its name so far. The kind of thing that we want to see as he approaches the foxhole now. After that, Adenauer Force. Is he going to overtake on the inside? Oh my god. I wouldn't have the nuts to do this in a sim racing title, much less real life. There we go. Coming up on the, what is that, M2, M3, M4, something. It's a lower class BMW as he blitzes past. Might have been like an M4, GT4. We approached the Rebel Tree. Shout out to my man Jimmy Broadbent. Braking hard here at... Wow, what do they call this place? I always forget. I always forget the name of that. Coming down. Is this Cullen Hard? My knowledge of the corner names here in Sector 2 is very, very bad, but he's up at, I think, 28 overtakes already. We've just started Sector 2 of the Nurburgring, so we're barely even halfway through at this point. Now, miss, hit, miss. Perfectly executed, of course. You can see the light drips of rain, so this is actually becoming a slick track as well. It's not even completely dry. Coming down, of course, to the slowest corner on the track, and then blitzing right past. David, a little bit of trepidation there before he goes on the outside. I think he half expected that car to adhere to its line. Coming down here, I think this is X-Mueller, maybe, again, my corner name's not my strength here. Of course, there's a speed limit there now on the tourist fighting laps, because I think cars rejoin, because that's another rejoin point for the track, so you can't really blitz it quite as fast as this. Of course, different rules when you're in VLN, which I assume this is. Now busting out onto one of the biggest, I guess you could call this almost the hill climb part of the Nordschleife, because you go from one of the lowest parts of the track to one of the highest points of the track, and it's pretty much all flat out in the GT3, overtaking on the outside for 32 overtakes now. We have a train coming up, so that's at least several more. Rapid closure there, 33. And another Cayman, 34. Or is that a club sport? Whatever it is, I'll call it a Cayman for now. 35. Is he in? Oh man. Oh, I don't even. I can't commit to this on a public Nordschleife server in Assetto Corsa, much less in real life, where there's millions of dollars at stake in barrier replacement costs. Not to mention the real risk of going to hospital. All right, coming up into the carousel now. What's he gonna do here? Oh, is he gonna get held up by the Audi? Oh, he goes around the outside. All right, commits to the outside. He still seems to be faster, actually. He was like trying to get two tires over the lip to like get the pull in, get the purchase on the turn. As the rain is just shooting up the windshield now, so this is like almost full rain here. No matter to David, still flat out. Coming up into Sector 3 here. I don't actually know what this section is called. Maybe this is Cullenhard, who knows? But we're coming up to my favorite section. I know it's David's favorite section as well. Whipperman right here. From Whipperman through to Döttinger is basically the most ballistic part of the Nordschleife. Just absolutely crazy. You're at the mercy of G-forces. It's just up and down. It's like a roller coaster ride, basically. Oh my god! Oh, that's gross. Oh, I had that feeling, you know, when you get that in your throat. That is awful. The amount of confidence he has, not only in himself, but his own car, but also what the cars around him are doing. Man, that was scary. That was probably the closest he came to crashing on this lap. And another, it looks to be a GT3R. I don't think it's a cup car. I might be wrong. He did rapidly close on it though. And a train of far slower cars here as well. Is he going to take the inside? Yes, the guy gives him the inside. Crossbow there as well. Another Porsche. So we're up at 50, no, not 50, we're up at 46 overtakes at this point, heading down to one of the most ballistic parts of the track. Joe Achilles screaming as David drove him through this flat out in the BMW. Yes, 47 on the way down. Track has got to be slick at this point. Coming up to the mini carousel now. What's going to happen here is going in for the inside. He's committing. Oh! He wouldn't be happy about that, I don't think. No, shaking his head. Not too thrilled about that. Definitely got to drive in your rearview mirrors if you're in a lower class car in VLN. I mean, look at how fast a professional GT3 driver closes on you. And that is coming up to the end of the Nordschleife. This is now Döttinger, the longest straight on the entire circuit. This is where the slipstream really comes into it. He's brushing past the Cayman. Basically playing slot cars here, just chasing the slipstream. Well, not in his case so much. Kevin Estra definitely does. He's like trying to pick up every last bit of toe that he can. I think David feels like he's committed enough on this lap, which I would agree with personally. You can see once you top out, the drag on the GT3 from having the additional aero really slows it down compared to, let's say, the GT4s. I'm assuming that's a GT4 or something else. You know, very committed through here, hard on the brakes. I don't actually have a gear readout here, but I'm assuming it goes down to like second gear or something. And blasts out for 54. That is, I think, the final overtake. 54 overtakes on an insanely busy Nurburgring Nordschleife during a VLN race. Well, That was absolutely ballistic. Honestly, all I can think about doing right now is loading up iRacing and trying to do my best emulation of this myself. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe to David Petard down below. I'm going to have a link to his channel. Someone of this caliber of skill deserves more followers, so definitely give him a follow. Watch some of his other videos. He's full of insight about GT driving as well, so definitely do that. And while you're there, while you're here rather, make sure to hit the subscribe to stay up to date with future automotive content on this channel. So until then, I'm going to smash out some laps in iRacing.